Okay, so this is one of those videos where, honestly, even while researching it, there were moments where we had to stop and go, wait, seriously? Because everything in this video goes against what we've all been hearing our entire lives. Drink more water, stay hydrated, 8 glasses a day. You've heard it a million times. Your doctors said it. Your kids have said it. There's probably a water bottle with little time markers sitting on somebody's counter right now. You know the ones. I drink to here by noon, drink to here by 3 p.m. Yeah, we need to talk about those. Because kidney specialists are now saying something that sounds crazy at first, but the science behind it is actually really solid. And it's this. For a lot of people over 65, drinking that much water isn't just unnecessary. It might actually be making them sicker. We know. We know how that sounds. But stick with this one, especially if you're over 60, or if you have a parent or grandparent who is. Because this could genuinely explain some things that have been worrying you. So there's a woman, we'll call her Margaret, because that's not her real name, but we think she'd be okay with us sharing this. She's 78, lives in Ohio, retired teacher, still drives herself to the grocery store, keeps a little garden in the backyard. Sharp as a tack, or at least she used to be. About 2 years ago, something started to shift. She'd wake up in the morning feeling like she'd been hit by a bus. Not in pain exactly, but just drained, heavy, like her body forgot to recharge overnight. And then when she'd stand up, that wobbly thing where the room kind of tilts for a second, you know what we're talking about. A lot of people over 65 know exactly what that feels like. Her daughter, who means well, she really does, jumped on Google, typed in, "Why is my mom dizzy and tired all the time?" And Google did what Google does. It said, dehydration, every single result. Dehydration, dehydration, dehydration. So the daughter went on Amazon, ordered one of those big motivational water bottles, the pastel-colored ones with the times printed on the side, and basically told her mom, finish this every day. No excuses. And Margaret did. Because that's what her generation does. They listen. They follow instructions. They don't complain. 8 glasses a day, sometimes more. She'd set little reminders on her phone. She started chugging a big glass right before bed because she read somewhere that nighttime dehydration causes morning dizziness. And then she started getting up to pee at 2 a.m., then 3:30 a.m., then 5 a.m. But she figured, okay, that's just what happens when you get older, right? Everybody says that. But here's the thing. She didn't feel better. Not even a little. The dizziness got worse. Her ankles puffed up like little balloons by the afternoon. And the brain fog, this is the part that really scared the family out. She'd be in the middle of a sentence and just lose it. Completely forget what she was talking about. Mid-word sometimes. Her daughter started whispering the D word to her siblings. Dementia. They were looking up memory care facilities. Then Margaret's regular doctor, thank God for this man, ran a basic blood panel. Not because he suspected overhydration, just routine blood work. And the results came back, and he sat her down and said, "Margaret, your sodium is dangerously low. You're not dehydrated. You're the opposite. You have too much water in your system." She didn't even know that was a thing. Most people don't. And look, Margaret's story is just one story. But geriatric doctors say they're seeing this exact same pattern over and over. It's not rare. It's not a fluke. It's becoming incredibly common. And most of the time, nobody catches it until something really scary happens. Okay, so what's actually going on here? Why would water, literally the most basic thing your body needs, suddenly become a problem? It comes down to kidneys, and specifically, what happens to kidneys after about age 65. When somebody's younger, their kidneys are these amazing little machines. You drink too much, they filter it out. You eat too much salt, they balance it. They manage sodium, potassium, all the electrolytes. Basically in real time. It's incredible, actually, if you think about how hard they work. But kidneys age, like everything else, and the research on this is pretty clear. After 65, kidney filtering capacity drops about 1% per year, which doesn't sound like much until you do the math. By 75, a lot of people are operating at maybe 60–65% kidney function, and they feel totally fine otherwise. They have no idea. So now picture this. A 75-year-old with 60% kidney function drinks 8 big glasses of water, maybe 10, because that's what the internet said to do. That water floods in, but the kidneys can only process so much per hour. Maybe about 700 milliliters to a liter. The rest just sits there. And what happens when too much water sits in the blood? It dilutes sodium. And sodium, this is the part most people don't understand. Sodium isn't just about salty food. Sodium is what tells your brain cells how big to be. It's what keeps your muscles contracting properly. It keeps your heart rhythm stable. It's kind of a big deal. When sodium drops too low, doctors call it hyponatremia, which is a word nobody can spell, but a lot of seniors should probably know. The cells in the body start swelling, including brain cells, which, you really don't want your brain cells swelling up inside a skull that doesn't expand. And the symptoms of that? Fatigue, dizziness, confusion, headaches, weak muscles, nausea, puffy ankles. Now read that list again, because every single one of those symptoms is also a symptom of dehydration. See the problem? Somebody feels tired and dizzy. They think, oh, I'm dehydrated, so they drink more water, which makes the sodium drop even lower, which makes them feel more tired and more dizzy, so they drink even more water, and on and on and on. It's a trap. And it's a nasty one because the solution the person keeps reaching for is actually the thing causing the problem. Oh, and one more thing we should mention. A huge number of seniors are on medications that already mess with fluid balance. Blood pressure pills, diuretics, which literally make you pee more. Certain antidepressants, you stack too much water on top of those meds and you're basically asking for trouble. Can we talk about the 8 glasses thing for a second? All because it kind of drives us crazy. Everybody treats it like it's carved in stone somewhere, like Moses came down the mountain with a tablet that said, "Thou shalt drink 8 glasses of water a day." It's not. It's from the 1940s. It was a rough estimate for young, healthy, average adults in a government nutrition pamphlet. That's it. That's the whole origin story. There's no study behind it. There's no clinical trial. Nobody put 1,000 people in a room and measured what happened when they drank 8 glasses versus 6 versus 10. It was basically a guess. A decent guess for a healthy 30-year-old in 1945, maybe, but a guess. And somehow, it became the rule for everyone forever, including 78-year-old women on 3 different medications with kidneys running at 60% capacity. Does that make any sense? There's this doctor in Chicago, an internist who works mostly with older patients, who described something that really stuck with us. She said every week she sees the same thing. A patient in their 70s comes in. They're exhausted, foggy, dizzy when they stand up. She asks what changed recently, and the answer, almost every single time, is, "I started making myself drink more water. My kids got me a big water bottle." She runs blood tests. Sodium is low, electrolytes are off. Our kidneys are working overtime. The thing that was supposed to make them healthier was draining the life out of them, literally. And here's what makes it worse. When these patients tell their kids, "I think maybe I'm drinking too much water," the kids push back. Because the kids also believe the 8 glasses myth. No, Mom, you need to drink more. You're just not used to it. It's this whole cycle of good intentions gone completely sideways. All right, so how does somebody actually know if this is happening to them? Because the tricky part, like we said, is that it looks like a bunch of other things. But there are some patterns. 5 things to watch for. First, the nighttime bathroom thing. If somebody is getting up 3, 4, 5 times a night to pee, and they're also drinking a lot of water during the day or before bed, that's not just aging. That's the body trying to dump fluid it doesn't need. 1 or 2 times a night after 65, yeah, that's pretty normal. 5 times, something's off. Second, swollen feet and ankles, especially later in the day. When there's too much fluid in the system and the kidneys can't keep up, it pools. Gravity takes it downward. People assume it's a hot thing or a circulation thing, and sometimes it is. But overhydration is another cause that almost nobody considers. Third, and this is the big one, feeling more exhausted the more water they drink. This is the red flag that should really make people pay attention. If someone is religiously drinking their 8 glasses, and by mid-afternoon they feel like they need to lie down and sleep for 3 days, the water might be the problem, not the solution. Fourth, brain fog that comes and goes. Not consistent confusion like you'd see with actual cognitive decline. More like episodes. Clear in the morning, and lost by 2 o'clock. Sharp one day, foggy the next. That fluctuation, clear, then foggy, then clear, is really characteristic of electrolyte issues. Actual dementia doesn't usually work like that. Fifth, headaches that Tylenol doesn't touch. When brain cells swell from low sodium, they push against the skull. It's a physical pressure. Painkillers can't fix that because the pain isn't from inflammation, it's from swelling. Only getting sodium and electrolytes back to normal makes it stop. Anybody watching this who just went, "Oh, that's me," please go get a basic metabolic panel done. It's a standard blood test. Takes 5 minutes. Checks sodium, potassium, kidney function. Any doctor can order it. And it might explain things you've been blaming on age. Okay, so now the important part. If the 8 glasses rule doesn't apply to people over 65, then what should they be doing? We went through a bunch of research on this. Studies from nephrologists, recommendations from geriatric specialists, guidelines from the National Kidney Foundation. And honestly, the answer isn't complicated at all. It just requires a different way of thinking about water. The first thing is just stop counting glasses. Seriously, get rid of the number. There's no universal number. Somebody who weighs 120 pounds and takes no medications needs way less water than somebody who weighs 200 pounds and takes a diuretic. The 8 glasses for everybody approach is like saying everybody should wear size 9 shoes. It doesn't make sense. Instead of counting, just pay attention. Drink when thirsty. Sip, don't chug. And here's a simple check. Look at the color. Pale yellow, like light lemonade? That's great. Clear as water? That actually might mean too much water. Dark yellow? Probably need a bit more fluid? It's not rocket science. The body gives pretty clear signals if people actually listen to it. Second thing, spread it out across the day instead of front-loading or back-loading. A lot of seniors either forget to drink all morning and then slam 3 glasses at lunch, or they drink a ton of water at night because someone told them nighttime dehydration is dangerous. Neither of those is great. The kidneys work better with steady, small amounts. Think of it like a slow drip versus a fire hose. A small glass with breakfast, some tea mid-morning, soup at lunch, a glass in the afternoon, or something light with dinner. Done. No drama. Third, and this one actually surprised us in the research, stop drinking plain water on a completely empty stomach, especially in large amounts. When somebody chugs 16 ounces of plain water with nothing else in their system, the body absorbs it fast but doesn't have enough sodium or minerals to balance it. It's like pouring water into a sponge that's already full. It just runs through. Drinking water with food, even just a few crackers or a piece of fruit, actually helps the body use the water more efficiently. The sodium and minerals in food help pull water into cells where it's needed instead of just flushing it through the kidneys. Fourth, add some electrolytes, but don't overthink it. Nobody needs to buy those expensive electrolyte supplements they advertise on podcasts. A pinch of sea salt in a glass of water. Literally a pinch. A cup of bone broth. You can get the store-bought kind, it's fine. A handful of salted almonds in the afternoon. A glass of milk. These things naturally contain the sodium, potassium, and magnesium that help the body regulate fluid balance. It doesn't have to be fancy. There's this simple morning drink that a lot of people in the longevity community talk about. Warm water, tiny pinch of Himalayan salt, half a lemon squeezed in. Is it magic? No. But the salt provides electrolytes, and the lemon adds potassium and makes it taste like something you'd actually want to drink at 7 a.m. Better than choking down a cold glass of plain water first thing in the morning, which honestly sounds miserable to us anyway. Fifth, remember that food is hydration too. This is the one that blows people's minds. A bowl of soup? That's like 2 glasses of water. A slice of watermelon? 92% water. Cucumbers, oranges, strawberries, yogurt, oatmeal made with milk. All of these count toward fluid intake. A lot of seniors who think they're barely drinking anything are actually getting a decent amount of fluid through meals without even knowing it. So if somebody eats soup at lunch, has fruit as a snack, drinks coffee in the morning and tea in the afternoon, and has a glass of water here and there, they're probably fine. They don't also need to force down 6 extra glasses on top of all that. Sixth, please, for the love of sleep, stop drinking a bunch of water after about 6 p.m. Those nighttime bathroom trips are wrecking people's sleep. And bad sleep in seniors isn't just annoying. It raises blood pressure. It messes with blood sugar. It makes joint pain worse. It affects mood and memory. One of the fastest ways for an older person to feel dramatically better is to simply sleep through the night. And one of the easiest ways to make that happen is to stop flooding the system with fluids at 9 p.m. A tiny sip if you're parched. Sure, but the big bedtime glass of water has got to go. Seventh, and honestly, this should probably be first, ask an actual doctor. How much water should I specifically be drinking? Not how much water should people drink? How much should I, with my kidneys, my blood pressure, my medications, my weight, my age, how much should I be drinking? Most doctors can answer this in about 30 seconds once they have a metabolic panel in front of them. And the answer might be surprising. Margaret, the woman from earlier, was told she needed about 6 cups of total fluid per day. Total. That included her coffee, her soup, everything. She'd been doing almost double that. When she cut back to her actual number, the dizziness went away within days. The brain fog cleared. The ankle swelling stopped. She started sleeping through the night for the first time in over a year. Her daughter cried. Because she'd spent months convinced her mom was developing Alzheimer's. And it turned out to be water. Just water. Look, we want to be really clear about something. This video is not saying stop drinking water. Water is essential. Nobody's arguing that. Dehydration in seniors is a real problem, and it can be serious too. But so is the opposite. And nobody's talking about the opposite. The point is balance. The point is that a healthy 68-year-old and a healthy 30-year-old don't need the same amount of water. The point is that kidneys change as people age. The point is that a rule of thumb from 1945 shouldn't be the final word on anyone's health in 2025. If you found this helpful, or even just surprising, we'd really appreciate it if you'd share it with somebody who's over 65, a parent, a spouse, an aunt or uncle, a friend from church. Because there are a lot of people out there right now who are forcing down water they don't need, feeling terrible, and having no idea why. And subscribe if you want more content like this. We put out new videos every week about real, practical health information for people who've been around long enough to know that most health advice isn't designed with them in mind. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves.